Next is being total.
Good morning.
It's item 25.5.
Thank you. You have a copy of the report from the management team, staff of the council. The background of this matter is the Christchurch Canterbury A&P Association has run the Christchurch show on the present Canterbury Agricultural Park site for probably about 23 years. It bought the site many years ago and developed it into the present show site. It became insolvent in around about 2002 and sold the land back to the Christchurch City Council to become Canterbury Agricultural Park. And it now leases and licenses that land to operate the Christchurch show. The Christchurch show is a big deal. It's a very big deal for the city. It's a very big deal for New Zealand. It's the second largest annual event of any nature that occurs regularly in New Zealand, and it's certainly the biggest in Canterbury's calendar. So we attract about 120,000 people to the show. That compares with any other event, such as the Cricket World Cup opening, which had about 35,000 people. On Show Friday alone, we have approximately 65,000 people that come to the show, and we park on that day about 10,000 cars. So that's equivalent number of cars to the total seating capacity of Horncastle Arena. So it's a very big deal. When the council proposed to develop Ngā Pūnawai and will now proceed with that, the impacts of Ngā Pūnawai are very significant for the Canterbury A&P Association. We filed submissions in opposition to that, and we withdrew those submissions after discussing the matter with council staff. And in return, we're seeking to lease some land that the council owns adjacent to Whitlam Road and adjacent to the park. It's the only available land adjacent to the park, in order to ameliorate some of the concerns and issues that we have as a result of the development of Ngā Pūnawai. This particular matter came before the Finance and Strategy Committee in June, I believe, 18th of June. And at that committee it was acknowledged, I think, that there was the need to find a compromise between the Canterbury Agricultural Association's position and that of the council, and to create a win-win for both and provide more value under our proposal to the Christchurch City Council. So I met with staff from the council and we worked through a proposal which has broadly been recommended in your papers today. There's just one matter in the proposal, in that the options that are proposed to you are a lease to the Canterbury Agricultural and Pastoral Association of a slightly smaller site, which is as agreed, for a term of 35 years is option one. The preferred option for the Canterbury Agricultural and Pastoral Association is a lease for 100 years, with the Canterbury A&P Association paying a nominal rent for the first 35 years. The council report, or officer's report, indicates that there's an intention to lease beyond 35 years because it speaks in terms of a market rental which has been agreed broadly with the Canterbury A&P Association. So it seems that perhaps the most appropriate arrangement would be a lease of 35 years with a right of renewal for 35 years at a market rate, and a further right of renewal after that for 30 years, which would give the 100-year term potentially, and all other terms being the same. There are some safeguards in that proposal, in that the A&P have agreed that if we cease to carry out a not-for-profit activity, then we would pay a full market rental. The resistance to granting a lease beyond 35 years is driven by restrictions under the Resource Management Act, which require that a subdivision consent be obtained. It seems to us that there isn't an elegant way of avoiding that issue. And so if you granted a lease to us for 35 years at a nominal rent, as the proposal from the officers proposes, with a right of renewal for 35 years of a commercial rent and a further right of renewal after that, 30 years of commercial rent. then we would need to move to seek subdivision consent to legitimise that proposal. That's really what I have to say, so I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Perhaps one last thing I should add is that in the negotiations we've been seeking a lease of 2 areas of land adjacent to Wigan Road, and in order to achieve the compromise that the council sought, we've relinquished the application on one part of that land, so that the total area now is 5.1 hectares.
Elliot.
What, if any, limitation would there be on the AMP to invest and develop the area on that 35-year agreement, as opposed to a 35 plus 35 plus 30?
There's no limit on the AMP. The users of the AMP wish to put that land to are quite complicated. So the first is to ameliorate our parking concerns. The second is that we want to move some of our administration out of the park and develop offices in that area. We also want to develop an agribusiness hub with the intention of bringing breed societies and other organisations to the city to hold conferences on the site. So any of those uses would be subject to the Canterbury AMP Association seeking consent under normal planning processes.
But would you be less likely to go down that track should the period of time be?
Yes, definitely. Unless we can get a payback period over a period of time, it is economically, there's an enormous economic disincentive to the association. We simply couldn't commit to spending any money on that land.
Danny?
Thank you for your invitation. Just in terms of the cost of the development proposed in Area A, have you got a kind of ballpark for that?
No, we haven't. Mainly really because we run on this level of RAG. We're a voluntary organisation, 500 people who have 22,000 man-hours. So our surpluses are modest, and we can easily consume surpluses just from doing those reports. If we are granted the lease of land, clearly we'll go ahead with the full development. One of the proposals that came out of the discussions that we had is that Canterbury AMP Association are concerned that we don't have a close enough relationship with the city, who really are a partner with us in the park. So you'll see in the paper that we've offered, we've obtained from our members consent to grant a board seat to a representative from the Christchurch City Council, in order to build the relationship that we need to work together to develop the show and the park for the future. So I would see that we could work very collaboratively with whoever might fill that position in order to create a much closer and more dynamic relationship.
Yeah, I was just trying to understand how the development will be funded as well.
Yes, so part of the proposal is also that the council's funding, which presently is $100,000 a year, would cease in 2017. In 2017, we will have amortised all our debt. So presently we are actually at a net nil debt position, but we do, because we have some cash on hand. We have a fixed loan that retires in 2017, and that's amortised under a commercial arrangement with the Canterbury Sale Arts Company. It doesn't allow us the opportunity to seek rent from the Canterbury Sale Arts Company because they have a 100-year contract with us. But at 2017, the relationship that we have with them, where we pay their outgoings on that building, are reversed. So that will provide the association with $140,000 worth of cash, approximately, to assist in our development. We have had a higher level discussion, very informal, with Garth Carnaby from the Canterbury Development Corporation about funding this proposal, and he has indicated that he will trade with the
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. We'll get to that item on the agenda. The time that it does is obviously we'll have questions for staff. So I won't move to the item now. So thank you very much. Vicky tells me that we're up to Shirley Papa. Is that right?